Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is episode 4 of the April 2021 edition of Orating the Light, a truth paper, a free online paper available at their website, thelightpaper.co.uk. So this is page 4 and episode 4. There's going to be 2 episodes from this page. This will be the next one. Okay, so without further ado, this article is called Preparing Our Children for Totalitarianism by John Stott. And there's an artwork in there, it's just a graphic showing children marching, a virus graphic, could be a virus graphic, looks a bit like a dandelion seed graphic, with injectable syringes. I'm a child of the 1980s. In terms of school, I left in the morning, had lessons, had a break, had some more lessons, had dinner, had a few more lessons, and it was suddenly 3:30 p.m. The only thing I had to worry about was negotiating my way home, which, due to there being a few other schools clustered together in the same locale, was often like the movie Warriors. There were a few psychopathic teachers who'd be facing jail nowadays, and we were made regularly aware of the possibility of nuclear holocaust at the hands of the dastardly USSR. We knew where we stood back then. Since having children of my own, it's impossible not to notice the huge difference in the school experience. In the plus column, you don't get your head kicked in by mentally unstable teaching staff for committing the cardinal sin of missing church on Sunday. Bullies seem to be a lot thinner on the ground, and getting to and from school is, for the most part, free of violent incident. However, despite all of that, there's something truly sinister going on that's gone from lurking in the shadows to hiding in plain sight as a result of the boiling frog effect. A few weeks prior to my eldest son starting secondary school back in 2018, we received an information pack containing all manner of information relating to dress code, behavioural expectations and basic do's and don'ts. However, it was a segment relating to school dinners which raised my eyebrows, as it mentioned biometric finger scanning in order to pay for food and drink. It stated that unless we contacted the school, it would be assumed that consent was given. I emailed the school and told them that I preferred our son to pay for his dinners by either cash or a swipe card that we would allocate funds to via an app called School Gateway. To be fair to the school, they were fine with it. The following year, we received another information pack from the school, this time relating to the HPV vaccine which they were keen for my son to receive. After a lengthy debate with my wife, it was agreed to refuse consent. A few weeks later, I was contacted via a local NHS immunisations team member who politely challenged our decision to refuse consent. I asked them who made the vaccine and what was in it. They didn't know. Luckily, I'd boned up on the subject and told her. I then asked how effective it was for boys, considering they don't have cervix and what harm it could cause. They told me that they wouldn't know for 10 years. I then asked what number of HPV-related cancers in males had prompted a rollout of the vaccine for boys in the first place. Again, they didn't know, which led me to state that if they didn't know who made it, what was in it, and what data there was to support having it, they had no business contacting me. A few weeks later, they sent me a document from the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation, JCVI, which outlined the decision to roll out the HPV vaccine for boys. In there, it stated that the driver behind making it available to them was equality and herd immunity. There was no evidence at all to support its necessity. Suffice to say, we stayed clear of it. Fast forward to September 2020, and my sons returned to school after the first lockdown. Again, we were contacted by the school, this time with a list of restrictions and behaviours expected by the pupils that would have put Guantanamo Bay to shame. I emailed the school expressing my concerns, asking to see risk assessments in relation to mask wearing, and stating that the school would have to take full responsibility for any physical or mental impediment to my son, arising from any other measure they'd put in place. I received a phone call from the head teacher who told me that she disagreed with what was going on, blamed the local authority for everything and backed off. After the second lockdown and planned return to school in March 2021, we were informed of measures put in place and the need for testing and mask wearing. This time, I got straight to the point, refusing consent for testing and telling the school that my son wouldn't be wearing a mask and that I didn't want him to be forced or coerced into wearing one. I received a cordial "That's absolutely fine" in response. As of writing this, my son has been sent home for the umpteenth time because one of his friends has tested positive for coronavirus. Life at my son's secondary school in 2021 consists of there being locked inside the building, needing a pass to go to the toilet, being watched by CCTV, paying for dinners by biometric scan, being pressured into taking unnecessary experimental vaccines, being swabbed twice a week, and pointlessly masked up in class. I swear, if the government insisted on pupils having a toe amputated in order to return to school, there'd be barely a whisper of opposition. This is neither progress, following the science, protecting children, nor saving lives. This is totalitarian control, fascism, and tyranny writ large. War has been well and truly declared on our children, and unless parents stop complying and start pushing back defiantly against this madness, the world we'll leave behind for them will be an abomination that we stood by and enabled. Okay, thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed that and learnt something from it. And take care of yourself, and I'll see you next episode. Bye bye.